we want to play today, so let's dive into it, huh? We're starting off today with a Sultai brew. Sultai, Lurrus, green, black, rock, splash, blue, whatever you want to call it. So we've got a bunch of cantrips here. We've got Abundant Harvest, Opt, Cling to Dust, along with a bunch of other cheap 1-mana spells like Inquisition, Thoughtseize, Bloodchief's Thirst. And then we kind of tie the room together with just good threats like Knight of the Ebon Legion that are individually powerful, and then cards that synergize with our plethora of cheap cards. So Witherbloom Apprentice here, whenever you cast or copy instant or sorcery spell, it drains the opponent for 1. So this, in combination with all of our cheap stuff, lets us drain them out pretty quickly. And then Sea Gate Stormcaller here can double up our various 1-mana cards, which is neat. Can also double up Sign in Blood here, and this card, we talked about this during the Mystical Arc review, but this card's also Reach in a pinch, right? So like this is a mid-rangey deck that can use something like Sign in Blood to kill the opponent on occasion while also generating card advantage for ourselves. Hydroid Krasis is kind of a sweet card that kind of gets around Lurrus's restriction because this technically only has a converted mana cost of 2, even with the X in its converted mana cost. So while you can't cast Hydroid, you can only cast Hydroid Krasis from the graveyard for X is 0, we can still play it in our actual deck because this deck does hit land drops pretty consistently with all of its cantrips. So let's go ahead and dive on into some games with this one and see how... Is it finally time for some fair magic in Historic? Can we do it? Stuck with Love and Dark Confidant. Maybe... I feel like we already do a lot of damage to ourselves. I'm not sure that we could necessarily... Yeah, like this hand's super keepable, right? These are both guaranteed to be lands off of our Botanical Sanctum. Alright, show me what you're working with. Alright, looks like a Storm deck. Hazardous Monument. Wolf in a Barrel. Thanks for the sub gifts this morning. Howdy, howdy. Oh, your reader sound is off. There you go. Thanks for the heads up. I think we just take Briggy. I guess this is pretty good with what's it called? This is pretty good with the with Gritting Ingus if they find it. And this is kind of like a Briggy I can't kill with a removal spell. So it's, yeah, but this dies to stuff like Bloodchief's Thirst, chat. I think it's Hazardous Monument because I can't kill this card game 1. I think we take the artifact. Man, crypto was already like a pseudo scam, and like the fact that crypto has made gaming hardware inaccessible and is also simultaneously going to forward the advance of climate change at a rapid rate, just like really took whatever small amount I could think about it and spike it straight into the garbage can. What a terrible thing to happen. Red Tomato, thanks for the 16 months. And Patches, thanks for the 13 months. I mean, $200 Dogecoin. Yeah, God bless. I think we're grabbing spells at this point, huh? So they've got some removal spells here. I think we're just drawing 2 here, huh? We drew a non-land, but did we? Did we, chat? Did we really? Technically the truth, yep. How do I kill this 3/3? I don't remember, Harlequin. Why does that matter? Like that actually should be irrelevant. Especially if you can't tell the difference, it really shouldn't matter. So this says the next time you cast it, copy it. I have to bolt myself to do this is the problem. It's probably still the play though, huh? I think they just killed the apprentice in response though here, right? They're only gonna gain 1. Okay. There are plenty of out-of-the-box computers that will do exactly what you need, Seth. It's probably just correct regardless, yeah. No, they're filling the bin up. Man, that audio bug. Are we dead here at this point to the underworld breach? So they have... Okay, yeah, so we're dead now, right? Because they have unlimited mana with Gritting Ingus, and then unlimited mana with Underworld Breach in play. This lets them loot an unlimited number of times. Yeah, so this says every time you cast a creature spell, you may discard... Oh, wait, they don't have a card to discard in hand. No, we're not dead because they don't have a card in hand. Yeah, they only have 3 cards in their bid. Yeah, opponent tried to go off without enough resources here. Well then. Sitting there while your combo opponent bricks off. They guaranteed win now. Is that true? Oh, because they're guaranteed to get to a grape shot, right? I guess theoretically the grape shot... But this loop happens and they get... Yeah, okay. Yeah, we're done. Okay. We probably... I have great... I would say we probably want some Graveyard Hate in our sideboard. We have Graveyard Hate. I'm Scavenging Ooze. Good job. Good job, Pass Jeff. Might be a Negate matchup. I don't know if we have time to hold up Negate. They might run out of red mana unless you're missing something. No, they have unlimited red mana, right? Yeah, Igneous makes its own red mana, and then Briggy makes one every time they cast it. Alright, yeah. People making me doubt my understanding of how the opponent's deck works. A couple of Bloodchiefs thirst out. Could be okay. Yeah, how many cards do I actually want to cut here is a real question. Trimming a cantrip could be the answer. Yep. It could be that I don't want... Their combo relies on having creatures in play. So it could be that I just don't want... It could be that I just don't want all these counter spells. I just want to have things that play to the board. I mean, we don't want to cut all of our card advantage yet. The opponent's not an aggro deck. Like, I think I'm down for no counter spells. He says as he puts one Negate back in. I mean, I only had 8 life Elenox, so like the odds of them not having that is real low. Briggy's a really good draw. Our draw is not so much. What would you call their archetype? Mono Red Storm. This is good, chat. It wouldn't be a real non-rotating format if I didn't register a pile of fair cards and then immediately feel embarrassed by a combo deck. Oh, they're a Phoenix deck too. I guess I should have assumed that that was the case. Yeah, I think we're super dead. It's a weird pivot if it's a pivot because pivoting into a secondary plan that also loses to the same thing your primary game plan loses to is not typically a good strategy, generally speaking. So like their primary game plan loses to Graveyard Hate. So like pivoting into something else that also loses to Graveyard Hate is like loose at best. Dubs Paradise Druid, rude. That is not the Thoughtseize I wanted for Christmas. One. I think that's fine actually, right? Because next turn we can cast this and then Abundant Growth into a land and then cast another spell as well.
My wild animals I like. People, not so much.
Samian, thanks for the 19 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Oh. Oh, that's not the one that's going to kill you, friendo. Opponent doesn't respect the Witherbloom, chat. Have a little respect, opponent. Hey, chat. This says target player.
You can't stop nature.
Are we gonna get to check kill someone with sign-in blood off my to-do list? Whoop. Opponent only left the ability to gain 3 life here. Alright, one of your finest non-lands, please. We get a castable spell here, we kill them. Damn it. I guess we could theoretically still kill them here. My opinion is you should take a deep breath and wait and see. Yeah, you ult that Vivian Reed. With their Witherbloom Apprentice looking real good there. Zero, thank you for the 2/3 of the year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'd be very surprised if the lesson mechanic was constructed playable. Your sideboard slots are very valuable. They do not look like they have graveyard synergies. We'll trim Cling to Dust here. Could be in best of one for those who play. Yeah, I don't consider that constructed, really. Nobody runs best of one tournaments. I do agree that Learn could maybe create a difference where there's decks that are best of one playable that aren't best of three playable. But when I talk about constructed generically, I'm not including best of one in that discussion, because it's not a format I play. Well, sideboards got smaller for best of one, but they're still like free resources, right? Because you don't actually need your sideboard as a sideboard in best of one. Sure. So is Hoots canceled? Not as of yet. We're gonna wait and see. We'll make a decision tonight on the final verdict about Hoots tomorrow. Hopefully they fix their shit today. As of right now, Hoots is happening as scheduled tomorrow. Why would Hoots be canceled? The Magic Arena patch yesterday made direct challenges not functional. There are tons of issues with direct challenge right now. Because Wizards doesn't have quality control. It's honestly impressive that they managed to break things that had previously worked every release. Like, if it was new features having issues, that'd be one thing, but like, they keep breaking things that had previously worked. Our dojo does not contain fear, chat.
faggots!
It says menace. It's rude. Yo, dog. I heard you like Abundant Harvest. I think we're draw step gusting this, huh? Alright, so we're dead. Oh, they're attacking with everything. I think we do this for X's 2, right? For X's 4, draw 2, I mean. Honestly, I think there's a good chance these awakenings should just be swamps. And en route to stabilization here, chat. It's another opt. Another Stormcaller, I mean. I think I'm okay with that. Because if we draw another Incineroar Source, yeah, I'll want to copy it. Okay, so if I murder this, Braska can't come down. Yeah, Witherbloom Apprentices look great so far. My buddy that sent me the list said he was super impressed by it in his games, and I can see why. It's been very impressive so far. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the awakenings into swamps, I think. Having a couple of basics seems fine. Yeah, Witherbloom what, like, dealt 5 to them that turn? If Jeskai turns got cards from the new set. Just sideboard cards, Beansy. I can post my list in the subs Discord if you want later, but I only updated some sideboard stuff. Hey, I completely understand, Dr. Mister. It's good to have you around regardless. I appreciate you being here. Always take care of you and yours first. I should be here regardless. I think that's good. Is there not a border list for Witherbloom Apprentice? Seriously? laughs at a Boreal Grazer. Yep. No, I don't have every borderless card. Chat, here's the best piece of advice I could give you. If you're someone that plays Arena competitively, instead of caring about your ladder rank, what you should be doing to qualify is just play some Star City tournaments. If you go 5-1 in one of the $7 SCG qualifiers, you get invited to the same thing that you top 1200 the arena ladder for. So like, just ignore the ladder and don't let it stress you out and don't worry about it and just like play in the SCG things. If I cared about qualifying for their stuff, that's what I would be doing personally. Strixhaven so far. It's been really sweet. Both as expected, both Strixhaven and the archives have a reasonable impact on the format, it seems like. Yeah, it's kind of funny that like Wizards basically has full control of everything now, and the correct answer is still just play SCG events in terms of what events you should be playing. Really want an untapped land next turn, huh? So I can pump this and also play this. I don't think that's true, Niv. It actually doesn't take that much to make top 1200 on the ladder, because game theory optimal to be top 1200, you should stop playing for almost half the season. You should play early, hit a good run, and then stop playing. It's basically the game theory optimal way to approach it. Ladder systems are not, and to be fair, that's not a problem that's unique to Magic Arena. Most card game ladders, Hearthstone, Runeterra, the ladders suck on all of these games in terms of being a qualification engine. That's definitely not something that's unique to this platform. Do I want to trade one of these two for Athalia? The ladder not having decay seems like a weird way to discourage his playing. So, ladder decay is a shallow attempt. Ladder decay is also bad. So, ladder decay doesn't actually make people play more. It just means instead of front-loading your matches, you back-load your matches. Decay is a really shitty solution, which is why most people don't implement it. Decay is not ideal. Decay is one of those things that like sounds kind of okay when you don't really think about it, and then you think about it a little bit and the behavior it actually encourages, and you realize it's also bad. How do you feel about attacking them here? I'm kind of into just smacking them for 6, I think. Basically, what it comes down to is ladder is something you should play for fun, and I think all of these systems that incentivize you being in a top position on the ladder are just bad systems in general. Here's a question. Did StarCraft 2's ladder give you more of something? Did StarCraft 2's ladder pay out based on your finish on the ladder, would be my question. No, it's pure. Sure, so that's fine though, right? Because like the core issue with these ladder systems is that they're tying things to specific places. Where do we see the decks in the order they're getting played today? I don't have them posted anywhere. We're playing things in the order I feel like playing them. Pretend this is any of the other Twitch streams that aren't organized. This is officially a Jeff's feels like stream since I've been back. No deck voting. No, I've already got a bunch of decks people paid to see played. I mean, people can send money. I have a bunch of decks that were all submitted on the same day with the same amount of money when Magus is the TLDR. So, normally, how much money people have sent dictates how things work, but... Can you kick things off a Stormcaller's ability? No, because it's copying, it's not casting. Huh? Do I want to cantrip this? Anybody that thinks 24 hours is enough time to have strong opinions on whether or not something should be banned is someone who's either an idiot or someone who's trying to sell you something. And in either case, you should stop listening to that person. Any soft or lukewarm opinions? I guess if you want my hot take to start, would be that both Brainstorm and Faithless Looting in practice have felt even worse than I expected them to be in this format in theory. There's Jeff's blazing hot take of the day. So far, I've been very underwhelmed by both of them. Brainstorm has largely been worse than Opt. Has been my experience so far. All right, am I just casting this as a 2/2 now? I think the top ranks are most volatile. I mean, then this is again why the ladder system is shit, Respect. I can't tell you that because when the ladder ranks are most volatile, it depends on how much people are playing. So like the ladder ranks will actually be more volatile at set release because more people will be playing at set release. Like, take this deck that we're currently playing, for instance. This deck originally had Brainstorm and Fabled Passage in it, and that quickly changed. I agree. Faithless Looting, I thought Faithless Looting was going to be really good, and it seemed fine at best so far. And I thought Brainstorm was going to be okay, and it's felt mediocre. So, like, I had pretty tempered expectations of them all to begin with. Yeah, I feel like, not that people are actually capable of learning, because people like to spew random nonsense all the time, but I feel like, hopefully, maybe Brainstorm and Faithless Looting in this format will finally be the kick people need to realize that power level is contextual. And they should stop saying cards are good generically. Honestly, they're at 6. I'm going to take this hit rather than let them grow their Scavenging Ooze. This is a 5-turn clock. I've got a 3-turn clock. Let's go. Man, Discard spells, chat. Yeah, I think we're casting Thoughtseize to get 2-on-1 counters. If I do that, they're attacking with both of these. I go block, block, block. Am I dead if I do that? I might be dead if I do that. Because they can attack with both of these next turn because Yasharn makes them cheaper. So I can block 4 things and then I take... Yeah, I think we gotta do this actually. So if I attack with this, do I die on the backswing? I go block, 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 block. I take 6, 12. You think I actually have to pass here? That's unfortunate. Discard spell's looking real bad. It's our first Abundant Harvest deck. I think so. Man, just brutal. I think we're done at this point. Not gonna die for a couple more turns, but great hand. Scavenging Ooze locking us out. This is definitely a discard spells out matchup. Want more cards that play to the board. Yeah, definitely feels like garbage time. Honestly, one thing I'm not sure on is if Lurrus is worthwhile in this deck. So far I'm leaning towards it's not. Hey, Thistleham, thanks for 13 months. Welcome back. It's fine. Think mono black artifacts get any changes with Strixhaven? No, I don't think so. Yes, Krasis does not get recast by Lurrus for anything meaningful. Thanks for the third of a year, Synicalizer. I'm gonna go ahead and draw this, I think. Yeah, Sedgemoor, which could be a card worth playing. But that's like the definition of mediocre, Swift. Like it's not like this all-empowering format staple that it was in Legacy. Like your own definition, I would say, yeah, that means it's mediocre. Like it's a niche card that's good in some strategies. Sure, I agree with that. That also doesn't mean it's good. Witherbloom Apprentice, punching the clock and going to work here. I would take Kisa's combo as a donation. I don't know if it's good or not, though. I haven't touched it in a long time. Hey, Float Mana, thanks for the tip. I assume that's to add a deck to the queue. There's a card that dies to vote for Mardu vehicles. Sounds good. Do you have a specific list you want, Float Mana, or just whatever I want to put together? I mean, chat, and this is why people talking about as a card that dies to Bone Crusher Giant actually good. That's why formats like this that are different than Standard are fun, because cards that aren't playable in Standard can be good here because the metagame is different. The power level of cards is contextual inside of the format in which they are being played. It's just how Magic works. I'm gonna do this, then just cast a 2/1 out of my bin here. Just go wide. Obviously not getting any value with it, but they could just be holding up this, but there's a good chance they have Coco here, right? Really wish we had some cantrips here to be able to cycle through the Witherblooms. Yeah, exactly. Like, Deathrite Shaman's like the poster child of that, right? Like, Deathrite Shaman's banned in Modern and Legacy, and it just, like, doesn't even see play in Pioneer. Didn't see play in Standard. Oh, you linked it in the spreadsheet. Got it. You didn't have a link in the donation, but you're right. I've got it in the spreadsheet. I think we've died, chat. Yeah, they've got Scavenging Ooze stabilize their life total here too. Yeah, I'm gonna be done with this one. This was an idea one of my buddies sent me, and it felt like pretty typical. This felt like pretty typical fair deck Magic. Didn't feel inherently like. It's just not doing anything. I don't know that it's a garbage fire. Like, it's got a number of reasonable cards in it. It's just not doing anything overtly powerful, and it's not super interesting in my opinion. So I think I'm gonna move off rather than continuing to hammer at it. Yeah, it's just like this deck doesn't like that last set feels like such a good example of like the tough part that these decks have always had in Pioneer and Modern too, right? Like the drawing a bunch of Thoughtseizes and Inquisitions game one against the deck that plays to the board as you go long is just bleh. I mean, like, there's a lot of different directions you could go in this deck, but like, I just don't think any of them sound particularly interesting, so you feel free to work on them at home. But I don't really think this is something that I'm interested in playing anymore at the moment. It doesn't feel particular. I think even if you optimize this, the gameplay won't be particularly compelling, and it's probably only going to be okay at best.